When the sun goes down,
It's
Amy will be happier
moving,
when the sun goes down. We'll
feeling
be
all right. Amy doesn't know this song at all.
If you hear me cry, it's because it's like it's actually 82 degrees in our house. I'm sweating.
She
Our
seriously is.
our AC, I'm perspirating. Our
I was about to say
AC,
there is perspiration.
our AC unit gets replaced in 30 days.
3 days?
Friday. Yeah, 3 days.
Shit, dude.
Oh, no. I don't know.
Oh my
I'm
god.
trying to be a good wife and not use our window AC and break out the window AC because it really ramps up that
Yeah.
electricity bill, and we're about to drop $15,000 on an AC unit.
Dude,
So
they're so stupid expensive. It's annoying.
it's so stupid.
Yep,
So
yep,
I'm
yep.
trying to be the good wife and not do that. How's your day? Anyways.
It's going. Did you hear that, Google is dropping off, like, 32 million mosquitoes in Florida or something like that?
What?
It's actually true. I've heard it 3 times this week, and I was like, "I'm just gonna look this shit up." And I looked it up,
Can I
and
ask
that shit's true.
why?
Let's
Why
see.
are what? What's the purpose of this?
So, there is a legit purpose. They're releasing only male mosquitoes to wipe out disease from any other I guess so they'll hang on. Oh, I guess they've done it before. They did it in Hawaii too.
Why Google?
I don't know, but legit, like okay, 32 million mosquitoes. Google's parent company, Alphabet, has applied for a federal permit to release 32 million lab-bred sterile male mosquitoes across California and Florida. Oh, you're getting them too. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is currently reviewing the proposal, and a final decision will be made. I guess it's not official yet to public comment period or whatever. So they're called the good mosquitoes, which are male mosquitoes are mass bred in labs using artificial intelligence and robotics by Alphabet. Like what job? Who has the job of breeding mosquitoes? And if you do, please email us. Only female mosquitoes can bite. Residents will not experience an increase in mosquito bites. When released, males mate with wild mosquitoes, resulting in eggs failing to hatch. So they're sterile. And I guess, I don't know. I don't know
I don't
why.
understand what the purpose is here. It
I
sounds like
it,
they're just doing it for fun at this point. Also, have
it's
we
to wipe
not
out viruses,
okay, what type of viruses?
like
Viruses
West
for
Nile,
whom? Okay.
like West Nile virus.
Okay. Can I ask can I just point something out though real quick, real fast?
Point it out, buddy.
Um so in Jurassic Park, they
God.
they said that they were releasing only female dinosaurs. And
Mm,
let
I
me
see
tell
where
you
you're going with
something.
this.
They found a way. Nature finds a way. Nature finds
Nature
a
finds
way.
a way.
Okay? So I fear for us that this is the start of Jurassic Park, but it's kind of a bummer because instead of like a fun dinosaur, we're doing mosquitoes, which I hate.
Yep.
So
Yep. Same.
nature finds
You're
a way.
welcome. So get ready, Florida and California, for more mosquitoes.
Super duper. I absolutely despise going outside and just even if they're not biting me or
I was about to say, but
sucking my
these ones
blood or
don't
like
bite, so
they're
that's
just gonna be
nice.
in your face.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I fucking hate
That's
mosquitoes.
annoying. Mhm. Do you have a
We
neighborhood
just
story for me?
yes,
Sorry,
I
go ahead.
do. Wait, no,
Actually, no, I
you're
have a
fine.
question.
Oh,
I have a
okay.
question for you. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
You didn't think of this. I
I
gave you a
didn't.
heads up. Well, you're gonna have to just think on the fly
I'm gonna
then.
have to think on the spot. Okay.
Okay. So this is corrupt a wish. So I'm gonna wish for something, you're gonna grant it to me. Please. Please grant me this wish. But you're going to ruin it somehow. Okay. So, for example, you will go first. You think of a wish.
Okay. I wish that I had a year's worth of groceries.
Granted, but it's only instant mac and cheese and Tang.
Ah, no, who can live
So
on
much
that?
orange.
So
So
much
much
dye.
orange. Okay.
No. Homemade mac's way better, hands down.
So much better. Even like the mac and cheese box, I would take over instant mac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I wish I had more land with green grass for my dainty feral farm.
Granted, but the tree milling company has to use, like, 80% of your land
Hmm.
to plant trees and then take them down.
I don't like that. Actually, that
I'm
would be
so bad
fine
at these
because
ones.
my peacocks like trees.
Oh,
So
okay.
there you
Well
go.
well, Natalie loves mac and cheese.
There we go. I'm gonna let Leon in real quick.
Yep, you're good.
Where are you going?
I was just gonna say, it sounds like Tweety birds, like, flying around your head and you just got knocked out.
I did.
Hi! Oh, it's so cute. Is that the zombie one?
Yeah. Let's see if she sits on
Oh,
me.
or
Get
poops on you.
yeah, that too. I have a towel just in case. She's straight behind me, so
Oh. Oh, she's gonna poop. Dude, guys, right as I said that, it dropped a crapped on a turd down
it
on my shoulder.
rolled right off of me.
It really did roll right off of you. What are you feeding them? She's feeding them some mac and cheese. Those are some solid poops. Oh, no.
I'm gonna pee my
Oh, no.
pants.
Oh my god. Oh.
Ugh, okay, well, I thought she was just gonna chill out with me, but she's
She
like
did chill. She got so chilled that she shit herself.
so what gets me they don't when they poop, it doesn't smell like anything, but it's the sound of them actually like it goes and it grosses me out for some reason.
I wish we could have heard that.
It's like wait, gotta go. And I'm like that's why when you said it's gonna poop on you, I was like, oh, it literally just did. Okay. Okay.
By the way, guys, we're doing a hometown horror this week. We haven't done
Hometown
one in forever.
horrors. Yeah.
Hometown horrors. Okay.
This isn't really a neighborhood. It's not a neighborhood story at all. It happened in a neighborhood.
Okay.
So is that
You know,
neighborhood
it
story?
qualifies.
And it's going off at just the top of my head, but I recently learned that the scar on Tina Fey's face?
Yeah.
So, when Tina Fey was just 5 years old, she experienced a traumatic event that would leave her a permanent scar on the left side of her face. The attack happened outside of her family's home in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. According to Tina, she was playing in the front yard when a stranger approached her and slashed her across the face with a knife before fleeing the scene.
What?
The injury required significant medical treatment, and the scar remains visible today. What makes the story especially unsettling is that the attack appeared to be completely random. She has said that she did not know the man, and there was never a clear explanation for why she was targeted. Reports over the year have indicated that the attacker was never identified or brought to justice.
What? And she was 5?
5,
Holy shit.
right? Isn't that crazy?
That's why she has such a twisted sense of humor.
You gotta have one. Watch it.
It's
What's
good.
your first
It's good.
neighborhood story?
All
Mine's
right.
on horror.
This first one comes from Crazy Kaz Lady, and it says it was from 7 years ago. I got it on
Okay.
Reddit. I can't talk today.
Rabbit, rabbit.
Reddit. It says, I don't really believe in paranormal, but if anything I've experienced was paranormal, it was this. I wouldn't say it's weird, but as a non ghost believer, it was weird for me to experience. My grandfather passed away earlier this year around mid May. He and I
Mhm.
were really close when I was little. He would walk me to school, push me on the swing while he sang, and did anything a little girl could ask for from her grandpa. We
Aw.
lost that connection when he developed dementia in my later teens, and we had little choice but to move him out of our house and into a place that could offer him 24-hour care. So I
That's sad.
wasn't in the area when he passed, but my dad was with him. That call was hard to receive. His funeral was
Mhm.
early one morning. That evening, I was sitting in my room just thinking when I decided to go out into our deck and just be in the silence. We have two rocking chairs out there. I went outside and sat in one, and immediately the chair beside me rocked like someone has sat in that one as well.
That's creepy.
I watched it for a bit, wondering if it was just me seeing things. And when the
Mhm.
chair fell still, I shrugged it off and started rocking. A few minutes later, the second rocking chair started rocking beside mine. I
Mm-mm.
would pause after a few seconds. It would also stop rocking. I thought it was the movement on my rocking chair that caused the other chair to rock. And even now, I wonder if that's really what happened. But what happened next made me doubt that. My grandpa loved when I sang or played an instrument for him. In the early
Hmm.
stages of his dementia, what really got him to smile was the ukulele. When I brought one home from Hawaii, I played and sang for him, and he would grin and clap at the end of every song. So that night, I don't know where it came from, but I got an urge to play the ukulele outside. I hadn't played it
Aw.
in months. At that point, I went inside, grabbed my ukulele, and sat back down in my rocking chair and began to play, sing quietly. I felt kind of stupid until the other chair began to rock ever so slowly, and my chair was not moving at that point. It rocked for a
Mm.
bit, then stopped. But I kept on playing. I strummed for a while, and when I was done, I sat there in silence for a few minutes, said goodbye to whatever was in the chair, and went inside. I'm still
Aw.
skeptical of the situation. I don't know if the rocking was complete coincidence or if something was really sitting next to me that night. I've sat in the rocking chair dozens of times since, but the other one has not moved on its own. My brain says it was nothing, but my gut tells me that it was my grandpa listening to me one last time before a final goodbye. I miss that man, and every time I pick up my ukulele, I think of him and that night. Isn't
That
that
was her
so
grand
sweet?
that was him. I love
So
that.
sweet. You know,
Also
I
kinda
was like
creepy, but it's alright.
a little bit creepy, grandpa,
Mhm.
but you know,
Grandpa.
if you gotta do what you gotta do, it's so
Yeah,
sweet.
I love that. Okay. So this one, a really disturbing case out of Midland County, Texas, started when a man contacted police and claimed he had witnessed a murder inside of a trailer home.
Okay.
Officers attempted to make contact with a woman who lived there, 43-year-old Sandra Ramos, but nobody answered the door. A neighbor reportedly told police that suspicious activity at the residence wasn't unusual. When Ramos failed to meet the investigators as arraigned, authorities began digging deeper into the allegations. The man who reported the crime, 31-year-old Victor Esperanza, told investigators that the victim had been involved in a dispute over money that was allegedly stolen through the Cash App. According to his account, Ramos had picked up both him and the victim and brought them to the trailer where several people were using methamphetamine. He claimed that at some point discussions began about attacking the victim. Esperanza told police that Ramos had held him at gunpoint while the victim was assaulted. He described a brutal attack involving a baseball bat
Oh,
and a knife before the victim was placed inside of a large plastic storage tote.
no.
He also claimed that he was forced to help clean up the scene and later assisted in dismembering the body using a hacksaw.
Okay. That's
However,
something to do on a Saturday night.
as you do. However, investigators heard a very different story from another witness. That witness alleged that Esperanza wasn't simply a bystander and had actually participated in the violence by stomping on and strangling the victim during the attack.
Oh,
As the
no.
investigation unfolded, it became clear that authorities believe both individuals may have played significant role in what happened. When investigators gained access to the trailer the following day, they made a horrifying discovery. Human remains were found inside of a storage bin in the bathroom of the primary bedroom with an air conditioning unit reportedly pointed directly at the container because that will help rigor mortis.
Right? Like,
That's not going to stop it,
it's
but all right. This will help with the smell. Ramos was arrested first, followed by Esperanza a day later. Both were charged with murder and are being held on a multi-million-dollar bond while investigators continue working to determine exactly what happened and who was involved. That was like this month.
oh,
I got that
damn.
from truecrimenews.com.
Interesting.
So that was like recently.
That's cool. That's
Nope.
not cool.
Don't kill people.
Don't kill people.
Don't kill people.
Come on, people. If we taught you one thing in this entire show, it's don't kill people.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Cut it out.
All right. So this first story is from a listener up in Ontario, Canada named Gary D.
Gary D, thank you for
We're going to be
listening.
hearing, yes, thank you. We're going to be hearing from him quite a bit. I'm just going to spread out his stories. So,
Ooh, like that other one that we did. I forgot from H.
yes. Yes. Yeah, with the whole
Yeah.
series. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because that was a huge ass story
Yes,
and
it
I had to
was.
separate it into chunks. That was a good one though. I
That
loved
was
it.
such a good story. It had me hanging on the edge of my
Yep.
seat
What
every
the
single
H?
time.
Yep.
Yeah. What up,
All
H?
right. So Gary D says, Gary D here in Ontario, Canada, with another strange life experience. This one I call the Midnight Reaper. He's a very good
Oh.
storyteller.
Okay. Love that.
Back in high school, I spent a lot of time with my best friend Casey. We shared classes and often hung out at his parents' house, which sat deep in the woods at the end of a long dirt driveway. Despite being near a main road, it always felt isolated, especially at night. We were
Okay.
both night owls and loved humor and anything paranormal. One Friday night around 12:30 a.m., we were in his bedroom in total darkness listening to spooky audio stories.
Ooh.
Suddenly, his heavy wooden bedroom door creaked open on its own. Casey shut it, but a few minutes later, it opened again the same way.
No.
We left it open and went back to listening. About 10 minutes later, we saw a large dark shadow pass quickly by the window.
Oh no, I
It
don't like that.
It didn't look like a person or an animal, just something big and unnatural. While we were trying to figure it out, we heard frantic pounding on the front door.
Okay.
F fuck it. Nope. Is
We're done.
camera home? A young
No,
man was
no.
outside. A young man was outside, panicked, yelling, asking for help and for us to call 911.
Okay.
Weird. I guess they have 911 in Canada.
Isn't it? No. Maybe he changed it for us.
Oh,
Is like they
maybe,
will not
maybe.
ask, they will not know what 511 is.
'Cause I know, like, in England, it's different. It's, like,
Yeah, it
6
is.
something. Isn't it
Yeah,
699 or something? I don't know.
something,
So,
yeah.
he said there had been an accident. We followed him down the driveway to the road where his car had crashed into a hydro pole.
Okay.
As we approached, we saw the front of the car crushed. He said his girlfriend was inside. When we looked through the passenger side, What we first thought was a pile of clothing turned out to be her body. Violently wedged into the corner of the windshield and dashboard, there was no movement.
Ew, there's no mm-mm.
Police arrived and pulled us away. We later learned she had died from the impact. One of the responding officers was her brother and had to be removed from the scene.
Oh, that's so sad.
You know, after Casey and I couldn't shake what happened or the strange events just before it, the door opening twice, the shadow passing through the window, it almost felt like something had rushed past us on its way to the accident, like the Grim Reaper.
Ooh, that's freaky, Brie.
Yeah, I know, it was a little chilling.
Uh, Gary D, that's freaky.
Yeah, Gary D's got a lot of freaky things that has happened
Like
in his
they
life.
felt like she got in an accident and they were like they felt the green. Ugh,
Yeah,
I
they
can't.
saw and felt it. That's
No, I
creepy.
can't. No, I
But
can't
very
do
good
that.
story. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So, in May of 2022, a deadly confrontation unfolded on the streets of Fairbanks, Alaska, ending in the murder of 21-year-old Robert Rones. Witnesses reported that two vehicles chased and boxed a third vehicle before a man stepped out and opened fire. 13 shots were fired into a trapped vehicle. Rones was unarmed at the time, was struck 6 times, and died inside his car before emergency responders could reach him. As
Damn.
detectives began piecing together what happened, evidence quickly pointed towards 25-year-old Kevin Robinson. Investigators uncovered video and social media messages that painted a disturbing picture that Robinson's growing anger towards Rones. Just 3 days before the shooting, Robinson recorded himself chasing Roan's vehicle while making threatening comments. In another audio clip sent to a friend, he's expressed frustration that he hadn't been armed during an earlier encounter, suggesting that violence had already been on his mind. When police interviewed Robinson, they learned that the two men shared a complicated history. Robinson admitted that he was furious because he believed that Rhodes had cooperated with law enforcement in an earlier criminal case involving an attempted armed robbery at the Fairbanks McDonald's. Wonder which one. Um,
Right?
during question during questioning, Robinson initially denied an involvement in the killing, but after detectives confronted him with evidence, he changed his story and claimed he acted in self defense. Investigators found that explanation difficult to reconcile with the threats that Robinson had made before the shooting and statements that he wanted to revenge against Rones. The case eventually went to trial in April of 2025. Prosecutors argued that murder was deliberate and carefully planned, pointing to Robinson's prior threats, the vehicle pursuit, and the fact that Rones was trapped inside his vehicle when he was shot. The jury agreed, finding Robinson guilty of first degree murder as well as a weapons offense. The verdict brought some measures of accountability for a killing prosecutors described as an act of retaliation against someone who had provided information to law enforcement, which is an enhancement. At sentencing, prosecutors sought the maximum punishment allowed under the Alaska law, arguing that Robinson's criminal history and his probation status at the time of the murder and the calculated nature of the attack warranted the harshest sentence possible. His defense requested a far shorter prison term. After hearing both sides, the Superior Court Judge Earl Peterson sentenced Robinson to 90 years in prison for murder with
Shit.
an additional 4 years weapon sentence to be served at the same time concurrently. The judge described Robinson as the worst offender and called the killing one of the most serious murders imaginable, emphasizing the need to protect the public and deter similar acts of violence in the future.
Damn. I love that they just tacked on an extra like 4 years, like
And
thinking that 90 years is not enough. Let's just throw in another 4.
just in case, for good measure.
Let's make sure this bastard is dead.
Did.
That's
I love
crazy.
I love when we get like I don't love when I get murder cases, homicide cases. There'll be like a serious case, like a serious charge. I'm giving you an example. Let's say law enforcement sends us 187, and that's homicide. Penal Code 187. And the attorney's reviewing the case, and then they're like,
Amy said penal. Sorry.
Penal Code. Um, the attorney will be reviewing the case, and all the law enforcement asked for was 187. Okay. That's all they said. You know what? This is what we think he should be charged with. And the attorney's reviewing it, and they're like, actually, it's going to be a 187 and a 247.3.5. And you know what? He was driving at the time and didn't have a license. So it's a 1203.2 vehicle code, which is a misdemeanor. And you know what? He wasn't wearing his seatbelt. So we're going to tack on to that infraction also. And I'm just like, period. Yo, get him. Because, like, truly, all those things will probably be dropped, and they'll use it as like a bargaining chip. Like, we'll drop these like stupid charges if you just like agreed to guilt, a plea
Yeah.
of 187. But it's just like, period. And you do it, and they're like, and another thing, you broke the law here, and it's like, well, he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. I don't care. Anyways,
They do that. They do that all the time on live PD, like where
Mhm.
someone will like flee and they'll be like, "Oh, ran a stop sign, ran another
Mhm.
stop sign. Oh,
Yep.
fleeing cops. Oh, they have alcohol in
All
the
the
vehicle."
time.
Yeah,
All the
they just
time.
start tacking on all the
Mhm.
things that, especially the more pissed they get, they're like,
Yes. Yep.
"Which fair?
Period.
Abide by the law,
Period.
dummies."
Yep.
Period. All right. So my next one says, I don't remember where I got this one. I think I got this one on Reddit as well.
Okay.
So I had searched stuff about black-eyed kids, and it says, I believe
Ooh,
I've encountered the
creepy.
black-eyed children over a
Mm.
decade ago in rural Appalachia, which Appalachia, you gonna
Mhm.
encounter anything there because
Yep.
that's some
Mhm.
scary shit
Very
places.
scary. That's good.
Yeah.
Just
Bigfoot, skinwalkers.
ooh.
This has always low key disturbed me. Keeping in touch to this day, we've never brought it up again. We were at a local slash state park sort of place at between 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. I remember we were parked alongside the woods at some picnic tables. It was pretty desolate. We were technically trespassing at the time, and what we were doing there, you can leave to your imagination.
Okay.
As our curfews were approaching, we were finishing up our time together. We experienced a very ominous feeling. He was in the driver's seat, preparing to start the car and pull off. Pull off. The car doesn't start. We sort of laughed it off as it wasn't the first time and talked.
Okay.
Suddenly, to the right, passenger side where I was sitting, we see faint lights coming out of the woods. The ominous feeling intensified. Emerging from the woods, there were 4 to 5 children younger than us,
Ew, no.
like appearing to be 7 to 11-year-olds.
No.
I'm not going to claim they had black eyes. It was dark and I don't remember as I was pretty shook. I didn't read about the black eyed children lore phenomenon until years later, which described everything else that was experienced. All
Mhm.
I can say is they were not normal. They didn't belong. The cabins at the park were not occupied. They weren't even getting rented out as it was autumn slash winter. We were miles from the park's hotel. There were no adults. They were absolutely out of place.
They were at
What
place.
were the lights? I don't know, but the closest thing I can compare them to are glow sticks, as if they had opened a pack of those novelty glow sticks that include bracelets and necklaces or wands, but it wasn't like they were having fun or goofing off. They just stopped, stood there, and stared at us. He tried asking what they were doing here, if they were lost, where are their parents? And no response. The oldest looking child, a bit heavy set with a gray hoodie on, approached the vehicle just in front where the passenger headlight corner would be. My friend started really freaking out at this moment. Fair. He locked the
Mhm.
doors and was like, "Hell no, we gotta go."
Mhm.
Eventually the car starts. The children don't move, and the kid stays put in front of the car. My friend eventually yells to the kid, "I'm going to run you over." The boy slowly backs away, raises his arm, and points at us as we were leaving.
Ew,
I didn't look
no.
back. I'm absolutely not making this up. To my recollection, this is a true story.
I don't like that. Do you think it was the Black Eyed Kids, or you think it was just a bunch of weirdo kiddos being
I
weird?
mean, it's kind of weird that a bunch of kids were out at night that age and like at a state park. Also, have you seen that movie? Fudge, what's it called? It's where all the kids like go missing in like the neighborhood in
Oh,
it or in the
yeah,
classroom.
and what is that movie called?
Ah, it's good.
I
Have you
know what
seen
it is.
it?
Yeah,
It's really
that's
good.
creepy.
Yeah, that movie freaked me out.
That movie honestly had me on the edge of my seat because I was not expecting it to be the aunt.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. It was
Uh,
weird. She gave me the heebie-jeebies.
yeah, I didn't like that movie. What was that movie called? I forgot. That was a good one, though. That was a good
Yeah.
movie. My
Weapons.
Hulu weapons, yeah. Okay, so here's another one from Fairbanks. So 2022 was poppin'. So in the early morning hours of August 7th, 2022, a horrifying double homicide shook the Fairbanks community. Did it though? Because I don't remember it happening. 28-year-old Ricardo Duperior and 18-year-old Rachel Wright were inside a residence in the Birchwood Homes neighborhood when their lives were cut short. According to investigators, Joshua Bell spent part of the evening carefully planning his actions. He left his cell phone at his mother's apartment so his movements could not be tracked, then returned to the residence while taking steps to avoid surveillance cameras. Prosecutors would later argue that everything about that night pointed to a deliberate and calculated plan. When Bell entered the home around 2:30 p.m., investigators say he immediately shot Duperior. The
No idea.
violence did not stop there. Evidence presented during trial showed that he then attempted to get another man, Capri Willis, to kill Rachel Wright. When that did not happen, Bell allegedly entered the garage area where Wright was located and shot her as she was laying in bed. Prosecutors described the killing as an executions carried out without provocation and with complete disregard for a human life. After the murders, he allegedly went to great lengths to cover his tracks. Investigators determined that he cleaned his vehicle and disposed of two firearms, throwing them into the vault toilet. Oh my God, at the Tanana Lake Recreation Area.
Oh my wow.
Yeah, but the case became even more disturbing as the investigation continued, Bree. Authorities uncovered evidence that Bell later tried to arrange the murder for Capri Willis, the only eyewitness to the killing and his co-defendant at the time.
Oh,
Oh my
okay.
God, I did not know that. According to police, Bell even discussed paying someone to carry out the hit, leading to
Damn.
an additional charge of solicitation of murder in the first degree. God damn, he's just collecting those felonies.
Yeah.
The legal proceedings stretched out for years. Willis maintained that he never fired a weapon during the incident and was ultimately acquitted at his own trial in August of 2025. Bell's trial began 2 months later and lasted only 5 days. That's so
Is that
embarrassing.
I assume that's really short.
Alice's trial was 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Right, right. Yeah. Good
And
point.
that was like a pretty yeah, anyways. It only lasted 5 days. Jurors heard testimonies about the murders, the disposal of the evidence, and the alleged plot to silence a witness. On November 4th, 2025, the jury found Bell guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder, along with tampering with physical evidence and solicitation for murder in the first degree. When sentence finally arrived, wow, that's a whole year late. Oh, not a whole year, just a couple months. When sentencing finally arrived in May of 2026, prosecutors asked the court to impose the 170-year prison sentence arguing that
Damn.
Bell's actions demonstrated an extraordinary lack of empathy and a pattern of violent behavior. The defense requests a much shorter sentence of 65 years. That's still a very long time. Judge Patricia Haynes sided with the prosecution recommendation, sentencing him to 75 years of each murder. So that's
Damn.
150
Damn.
years and an additional 20 years for soliciting another murder, resulting in a total of sentence of 170 years. In her remarks, the judge said, Bell has shown a callous regard for human life on multiple occasions and described the murders as unprovoked. The sentence ensures that Bell will spend the rest of his life behind bars, though for the families of Ricardo DePerier and Rachel Wright, no amount of prison time can undo the loss they suffered that August morning.
Of course.
Crazy.
Damn.
Those both popped up on my Facebook feed, and I was like, I gotta share those. I gotta
Those
share those.
happened in did you say that happened in
2022.
2020? Damn.
We were living
We
there.
were still there. Yeah.
I feel like I might have possibly heard about the Birchwood one, but not to that extent. Mm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, Fairbanks.
Jeez.
Classy place. All
Crazy.
right. Is this the last one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This one is another one from Reddit. And it says, okay, here it goes.
Okay, we're ready. We're buckled in.
We're buckled in. It's not deep or detailed, but I believe it really happened. That's all that matters. I
Okay.
had an experience about 30 years ago, middle of the night in my bedroom, on my back, in the bed with my spouse. Whoa, don't need to know all that.
Okay.
Some physical presence of beings in the room at the front of the bed and at my side, blurry, groggy, almost like I was sedated. Couldn't make out details. I was elevated bodily on my back, above and out over the foot of the bed, felt like I was on a stretcher or a board. I could feel my own weight against my back. Hard to explain, but not weightless. I somehow went out of the bedroom door through several walls and the front wall of the house for foot first.
Okay.
Only one other snatch of memory was that on my back, on what felt like an exam table, something covering like translucent cloth over my eyes, intensely bright white light shining through, couldn't move or see anything. Like I was sedated, but didn't really want to move or struggle anyway. No panic, no fear. Some work being done low down on my throat in that notch between your collarbone. Yeah, between like right here.
Right there.
Like I love how we're both feeling. And that notch between your collarbone. More than just an exam or feel. It was taking time to do. There was some attention being paid to that spot, nowhere else that I recall. I could feel that the touch of what felt like one or two fingertips at a time. No poke, no pain, no marks. I woke up at 3 a.m. sitting up on the side of the bed, felt extremely exhausted and like there was a loss of time, although I didn't really know exactly when it started. No other memories of it, and as far as I know, it never happened before or since. But it wasn't a dream. I don't have sleep apnea, bad dreams, sleep paralysis, or mental or emotional issues. I don't use drugs or alcohol, no PTSD from it. Never put under hypnosis, but sometime after that, I developed a slow growing lump at the base of my neck on the
What?
back side, outside over the center of C7 vertebrae, almost directly behind where that work was being done. It grew to the size of a golf ball. Tried to have it surgically removed. Local anesthesia didn't work on it, and it was stuck on. The doctor could only get part of it removed, and it grew back to the same size, no larger. It was lab diagnosed as a lipoma. At least the piece he got out was. I have the scar and the regrowth to prove that part. I also have a distinct childhood memory of two events where an individual peeked in on me, then
Ew.
disappeared into thin air when they went around the corner or obstacle. They had female Asian facial features and were dressed in black. I remember it felt as though they were checking in on my well being. I told my elderly grandmother, a native rural Poland from another era, born in 1889, she called them witches and spoke as though she knew of their existence anyway. I studied and have worked for decades in a hard science field, and I find myself scoffing at a lot of other things I hear. So, this is difficult for me to explain to myself. Of those people I have told you this to, most roll their eyes. And that was it.
Uh, he was abducted by aliens.
You were abducted by aliens, bro.
Sorry, that's what
Also,
happened.
I'm really sorry that you went through that because that's like one of my biggest fears.
Is being abducted by aliens.
Yes. But
Yes.
also, if you abduct me, please just remove some fat for free or
Do
something,
some lipo. Give me a mommy
Little
makeover.
tummy tuck.
Tell me talk.
You can put
Just a
some new
little bit.
boobs in there or something.
Just a little bit. I mean, you're doing it anyways. You're in there
Exactly.
anyways.
Just while you're in there,
Good
you can have it.
gravy.
I don't know if you would use it as food, but you could
Study
probably.
me. Do whatever you want. As long as one, I don't remember. Two, that,
I want whatever he had.
mhm,
Not no
exactly.
fear, no pain,
Mhm.
don't care.
Don't care. Okay,
Just knock me out.
so this is Mary Bell was only 11 years old when she became one of the most infamous child killers in British history.
That's
In May
something and no one should be proud of. Okay.
thank you. My Nobel Peace Prize. I had 2 bells in this hometown. I didn't realize
You
that.
you did.
So, Mary Bell was only 11 years old. In May of 1968, 4-year-old Martin Brown left home to buy candy from a nearby shop in Newcastle upon Tyne. I don't know what that is. A short time later, his body was discovered inside an abandoned building. At first, authorities couldn't even determine how he had died. The pathologist found no obvious signs of violence, and Martin's death was initially treated as unexplained rather than a homicide. Just days that'd be so frustrating for the parents. Just
Right?
days after Martin's funeral, a local nursery school was broken into and several disturbing notes were left behind. The messages included statements claiming responsibilities of Martin's death and warning that murderers were nearby. Police dismissed the notes as a cruel prank and failed to connect them to the child's death. Oh boy. Around the same time, an 11-year-old girl named Mary Bell visited Martin's grieving mother and made a chilling request. She asked if she could see Martin in his coffin despite already knowing he had died.
Oh, okay.
9 weeks later, tragedy struck again. 3-year-old Brian Howe disappeared while playing outside and was later found murdered. His
Oh.
body showed signs of severe violence, and investigators quickly realized they were dealing with a killer. During the investigation, Mary Bell made comments about evidence that had not been released to the public. They were dealing with a murder. During the investigation, Mary Bell made comments about evidence that had not been released to the public, leading detectives to focus their attention on her. Eventually, she was arrested and charged with the murders of both boys. At trial, 4 court appointed psychiatrists examined Mary and it diagnosed her with psychopathic personality disorder. Yet that's crazy for 11 years old. Normally that happens way later. Yet many details about her childhood childhood were never presented in court. Years later, accounts emerged describing a childhood marked by extreme neglect, abuse, and exploitation. That's sad.
Oh.
According to relatives in later interviews, Mary endured repeated trauma from a very young age. Despite the significance of that history, the psychiatrists who evaluated her were reportedly never had access to those details, and the jury never heard them. The case continued to spark debate more than half a century later. No one disputes that two young boys lost their lives or the immense pain suffered by their families. What remains is the controversial is what remains controversial is whether the justice system fully understood the child sitting in the defendant's chair. The case raised difficult questions about childhood trauma, mental health evaluations, and whether courts can fairly assess a child defendant without a complete understanding of the environment that shapes them. It remains one of the most unsettling and heavily debated criminal case in British history.
Damn, she was 11?
11 years old.
Holy
That's
shit.
crazy.
That's I feel bad for her. I mean, obviously, I feel bad for the kids that were murdered too, but, like,
Yeah.
she oh my
I don't think
gosh.
at 11 years old you can fully comprehend the
No,
thought of taking a life.
absolutely not. That's
Sure,
pretty
even,
twisted.
like, when young kids, like, take their own life, that thought really, like, I just want it to end, but they have this, like, little pain that they just need to work through, and, like, taking your own life is such a life-changing thing for people around
Yeah.
them, and I feel like that's the same thing of, like, taking these little boys' lives. Like, I truly don't believe that she might have fully understood that.
No, they don't understand the weight
Mm,
of it.
no. Yeah,
What
that's
all it
crazy.
can that's crazy. Wow.
So sad. Do you have a neighborhood story?
I do,
Alright.
thanks to
Okay.
Amy. Alright, this is, looks like it's a next door, and it is a post it's a post from Linda, and it says,
Linda.
"Has anyone else seen the group of boys behind the house on Willow Creek Drive? They're hopping fences with fishing poles and digging around near the creek bank. I even saw one of them climbing a tree. I'm not sure what they're doing, but it seems suspicious."
Mhm. Period.
Dan comments, "Those are my boys, Linda. They're actually practicing a prehistoric ritual called playing outside. The fishing poles are for the bluegill, and the tree climbing is for the view. I'll tell them to keep the noise down so they don't actually startle any other endangered species, like a neighbor minding their own business."
That's right, Dan. Period.
Butchered that.
That was pretty good, actually. That was pretty good. Also, just let the cats be cats.
I know, right? Like they're not even doing anything wrong.
There's
They're
a
going
group
fucking
of
fishing.
kids that have been riding around on bikes that people have been complaining about in my Facebook groups that I'm in, and I'm not seeing the actual post, I'm seeing, like, a post of the post of the post, and so I'm not getting, like, the full effect of it, but there are people that are, like, being absolute Karens. What are they doing? They're riding bikes.
Right? They're
What do you
outside.
want, Karen?
They're not looking at a screen.
Good
Like, get over it.
good gracious. This was a pretty good episode, Brie.
Yeah, we did good.
Yeah.
Good job,
Um,
buddy.
have you checked in on the neighbors?
What's with the neighbors?
Brie
Bring
and Amy
Amy
out.
out. Psh.
Say hi to your cats for us.
Don't get dead.
Don't get dead.